All right, welcome. I am so excited, you guys. Oh my gosh, the Autoimmune Solution Masterclass is here. We only offer this a few times a year. So I'm super excited. I'm going to wait a few minutes while people are getting on. And what I'm going to do is I am going to, let's see, if you are watching this live and you have not registered, you definitely want to register because that is how you are going to get all of the amazing information for the entire masterclass. So here is the registration link. So make sure, again, you register if you have not already registered, so you get the important emails, the updates, the workbook, everything that goes with this masterclass. And also for everyone that's participating today, and actually every day, you're going to get a surprise recipe from me. And I am the world's best baker, seriously. And so I am going to put in this link right here, and you are going to be wowed. These are my chocolate chip protein cookies. And let me tell you, they are out of this world. So I'm so excited for you to be having this, and I can't wait to hear and make it. So it's just after 12. We're going to start recording and get on going. So let's do this. All right. Go. All right. Welcome. Welcome. Share my screen. There we go. Share the screen. And if you are just joining us, welcome to the Autoimmune Solution Masterclass. I am so excited. I'm your host, Robin Engelson. And if you have not seen in the chat already, I put in, if you're not registered for this class, make sure you do register so you get all the important information, including the workbook, the recipes, the replays, everything that I'm sharing with you today. And also, you'll see in the chat as well as you join the recipe for today, which is my famous chocolate chunk cookie. And it has protein in it, and it's absolutely amazing. Like, you don't even know it's healthy. It's grain-free, sugar-free, refined sugar-free, anti-inflammatory, dairy-free, all the frees, and it's absolutely delicious. So I highly recommend you make those. And let me know how it tastes, okay? Because I'm super excited for you. So welcome again to the Autoimmune Solution Masterclass, where today I'm going to show you 3 ways to help you now through today, tomorrow, and Wednesday, the 3-day masterclass. So you are in for a treat, and I'm super excited for you to hear everything that's going on. So just a little housekeeping first, right? Just a little housekeeping to make sure we're all on the same page. When you register for this masterclass, you get a workbook. And if you have not registered, register. The link is in the chat. And if you haven't received it for some reason, just email me at info@robinengelson.com. That's info@robynengelson.com, and include your name and email, and I'll go ahead and send that right over to you, because the work is in the action, right? We get to take action to change, and the work is going to help you do that with some simple steps. If you have any questions, please go ahead and email me again at info@robynengelson.com, and I'd love to hear from you, and I will definitely get back to you. I want to know your biggest takeaway, you guys. So there's going to be a lot of great information. You can DM me on LinkedIn, and there's a QR code there. Just scan your phone right now and DM me, say hi, and I'll get back to you today. I'm really curious to see what your biggest takeaway is, so that I can better the trainings moving forward. And also I want to help you. So that's my main goal, to add value to you and your life. And for the homework, you want to make sure you submit it again to info@robynengelson.com. Super important that you do the homework, take the action to change, because nothing changes unless we change. So go ahead and submit your homework every day to info@robynengelson.com. And we are going to, we're going to back up just a moment, because this skipped and I'm not sure how, but you know what? It's all good, because you're going to hear all of it anyways, right? So after the homework submission, we are going to, when you come on for all 3 days. There's 3 days. And it's not even like a full day, right? It's probably 30 minutes or less. And just during your lunch break or your morning coffee, you're going to get a 7-day simple meal planner to help you now. This is so key. And I'm going to do this and create it for you, like totally done. I'm going to email it to you. So make sure that you are registered and that you're on all 3 days. You can get this meal planner and it literally will help you now get amazing results. I'm so excited. It's super fun for me to make. I love it. And also, you're going to have a special offer from me when you to work with me. So stay tuned for that. Again, it's so important that you stay on for all 3 days because you will be able to get a special offer from me that you do not want to miss. All right. So what are we talking about? We are talking about on day one, we are talking about dealing with your autoimmune diagnosis. Who am I and your autoimmune journey, according to me? Like, what is my autoimmune journey? How am I here? Why am I doing what I'm doing? And the overview of autoimmune diseases, because it's super important to understand, like, we may be diagnosed with it, or we may have some symptoms. Like, what is it? How does it affect our body? On day two, we are going to talk about lifestyle changes, dealing with autoimmunity in your family and day-to-day life, and nutrition for autoimmune health. And then on day three, we're going to talk about dealing with autoimmunity in your workplace and advocating for yourself in the workplace, as well as exploring flexible work arrangements. All right, you all ready to dive into day one? So here we go, dealing with autoimmunity and your diagnosis. Who am I? Hi guys, I'm super excited to be here. My name is Robin Engelson, and I'm the founder and CEO of Impact You. I'm an autoimmune specialist, lifestyle transformer, and podcast host. I also love the beach. I'm a hip hop dancer and I'm a mom, as well as soon to be published author of Impact You. So you can do it just like me. I'm just an ordinary person with extraordinary goals and wanting to overcome my autoimmunity. All right. So how did I get diagnosed, right? So I help, and who am I and what do I do? So first we're going to talk about who am I? I help autoimmune moms and women get to the root of what is holding you back and make impactful changes toward a better life, right? So you're going from exhausted to energized so you can start living instead of existing, living the life of your dreams you never thought possible. I'm a mom, as I mentioned before, and being a mom is my biggest accomplishment, you guys. My son is my world. On the left, you can see he's the cutest little baby. Oh my gosh, deep blue eyes. He was always smiling and happy. Oh my goodness, the cutest little patootie. And then on the right, you'll see he's now older and taller than me. I do have 3-inch heels on. And he's 15 years old, and he's the love of my life, you guys. Like literally, everything I do is for him. So my autoimmune journey. I had him, and 3.5 years later, I was trying to have another child, and I couldn't get pregnant. Can you relate? If you can, put an emoji with a hands up, yeah, me, in the chat, because I want to see what's going on and who my audience is. So, I couldn't get pregnant. I'm like, what's happening? What's wrong with me? So I went to doctors and they couldn't help me. I went to a specialist, and the specialist ran a whole panel of blood work that my original doctors weren't running. So, I went and got this blood work done, and I came out with an autoimmune disease. I was like, what is going on? So I came out with Hashimoto's thyroid autoimmune disease. And the way I got diagnosed is that my antibodies, which is part of your thyroid, they were escalated off the charts, you guys. Like the number wasn't even on the chart. And so that has to deal with your hormones and regulating yourself. And so that's why one of the reasons why I couldn't get pregnant. But I'm thinking, how do I have this autoimmune disease? Like, what happened to me? What's going on? And the first thing we think about is like, what's wrong with me? Why me? I'm a good person. I take care of myself. I'm healthy. I eat well. I exercise. I already have a kid. Why can't I have another one? And, your body does some funny things sometimes. And a lot of the times it's not your fault. You're either born with it, your genetics and DNA, as well as environmental factors and stuff of that sort. So, being diagnosed can be really challenging and really hard, especially with autoimmune disease, because it's one of the last things to be diagnosed. So talk about, a happy life event turning into a traumatic life event. Although having an autoimmune disease is not life-threatening, it is also life-changing, extremely life-changing, right? So my journey, you guys, it went downhill after I got diagnosed. It just went downhill. It was so weird. I was like, okay, now I started becoming hyper aware of all of these symptoms that I had and I've had for a while. And no doctor, nobody ever thought to test me for different things for autoimmunity or anything, because on the outside I seemed normal. My blood work seemed normal. I was like, what's wrong, right? There's nothing wrong with you, right? So I had irregular bowel movements. How many of you have been bloated, constipated? Put a poop emoji in the chat right now, because I feel you. I feel you. And let me tell you, it is not fun. It is not fun at all, right? It is just painful. If you're exhausted, put some Z's in the chat. If you're exhausted all the time, you go to bed and then you wake up and you're sleeping 8 to 10 hours a night, it turns into 10 to 12 hours because you're just so exhausted. You're in a brain fog, right? Put that brain emoji back in the chat, you guys. If you're in a brain fog, listen, I remember specifically when my son was probably 3.5, 4 years old, going to the grocery store, but I ended up at Target. And I had no idea how I got there. Where I used to live, it was one direction was the grocery store, one direction was Target. And somehow we ended up in Target and my son's in the back seat. So we decided to go in and get a toy because we were at Target. So why not? Right. But why is that happening? What's going on? Why am I so forgetful? It was so frustrating, so frustrating. Why do people have to repeat things to me numerous times? Right. It shouldn't be this way. Always cold. Oh my gosh. Can you put a cold emoji or ice or something in the chat there, you guys? That cold, frigid, always cold. My nose, the tips of my fingers, tips of my toes, always cold, always having multiple layers on, right? And then getting so hot, right? Super, super hot, right? What's going on? Hair loss, my hair is falling out in clumps, right here in the front. I lost all my hair. I have a bald spot, not attractive, and just really concerning, right? My skin dry and flaky, irritable with mood swings, saying things and doing things and not having control over it. And then realizing after the fact, why did this happen? Why am I saying these things? I don't understand. I don't want to be saying these things. I don't want to feel this way, right? So, anxiety escalated, going to bed and not being able to sleep, looking up at the ceiling for 2 hours, you guys, oh my gosh, right? And then irregular or non-existent periods, that's not cool. You need to be having this so your body's regulated. So something wasn't working. This is after I got diagnosed, but then I realized as the awareness was happening for me, it was part of the process of being diagnosed, right? That a lot of these things were already happening, but I didn't piece the puzzle pieces together, right? They were just all over the place and I wasn't putting them together and making my puzzle complete because I had them, but they did get escalated after I got diagnosed. And one of the big reasons for me was because of my autoimmune journey. The doctor after doctor told me I was fine because my blood work was fine, but I felt awful. I got sicker and sicker. And I swear, if I could have a full-time job sitting in doctor's offices, that definitely would have been me. But I didn't get paid. But I was there for hours, doctor after doctor, because no one could help me. And I kept saying, I'm fine. And I kept saying, no, I'm not fine. There's something wrong. Can anybody relate? Put a hand up in the emoji in the chat if you can, because if you feel this way, because I feel you, I relate to you. I know how you feel. I was there. I was that person. And it's super frustrating and it's super stressful. And of course, you're escalating your stress, which is not good for your cortisol, which is not good for your autoimmune system to regulate. And then everything becomes out of whack over and over and over again, right? When I got diagnosed, it was it was kind of a relief because I knew one of the reasons why I couldn't get pregnant, but it was also awful because I got sicker and sicker and had all these symptoms, right, that weren't happening before and just got escalated. And one of the reasons was eventually I found out, right, because I was allergic to the fillers they put into the main medication that they prescribed for Hashimoto's. And it's a big issue. And no doctor saw it. No doctor even thought about it, right? Until I figured it out. So I was like, something's not right. What's the variable? The variable is the medication. And although it may be helping me, it's hurting me more than it's helping me. So just think about the awareness. So go ahead and put the medicine emoji in the chat. If you've had issues with medicine, like your body rejects it, you don't process it, you feel awful from it. Like I know how you feel because I felt the same way, and it's not cool and it's not okay. And a lot of times the doctors can't help us because they're just going on what they're trained on, which is the blood work, which is the medication. And a lot of times that doesn't work for us. And that is a really hard. It's a really hard thing to deal with, right? Like super hard. So now we're going to talk about, I'm going to walk you through, what is that autoimmune disease? When you get diagnosed, it's like, listen, you guys, I couldn't even pronounce Hashimoto's, okay? Like I was like, Hashi what? Hashi who? And the doctor literally said, it's not life-threatening, it's life-changing. You just have to take a pill every single day. You'll be fine. That's what he said to me. And I was like, okay. And I walked out. And then when I walked back and said, something's wrong, I called them, something's wrong. They don't care. This person, they just, this is what you have, this is what you do. And I'm like, no, let me educate myself and find out what's going on, right? So the definition of an autoimmune disease is the result of the immune system accidentally attacking your body instead of protecting it, right? So your body is in attack mode. It's in attack mode. So how could you feel good, right? You're in attack mode and you're trying to calm it down with things and medicine and, things that are not helping you. It's actually making it worse. So the attack becomes bigger and bigger and bigger. And then, how does the autoimmune disease occur, right? It's the immune system dysfunction. So the immunodeficiency disorders prevent your body from fighting infections and diseases. This type of disorder makes it easy for you to catch viruses and bacterial infections. You guys, listen, I was sick all the time before I got diagnosed. Like I always got sick. And I was like, oh, it was so frustrating. Literally, I always got sick. It's like I never fully got better. So put an emoji of a sad face in the chat if you're the person that always gets sick. Like you're always the one that has the flu. You're always the one that has a cold. You're always the one that just doesn't feel 100%, right? That's because your immune system isn't functioning properly. Like there's reasons for this, right? And when you have the awareness, you can have the importance of early detection and diagnosis, which can help you get on the road to recovery and become an autoimmune overcomer much faster, right? So some of the symptoms and early signs to look for are muscle aches and pains, joint pains, stiffness and swelling, muscle weakness, inflammation, bloating, constipation, abdominal pain, acid reflux, nausea, food sensitivities. Oh my gosh. Do you have a migraine already? Yep, me too. Migraines are one of them too. Oh my goodness, right? Blood or mucus and stool, rashes, itchy, dry eyes. Put some eye emojis in the chat right now. If like your eyes are always itchy, it's so annoying. And I agree because I have it too. So I can attest to that, right? Yes, I see it coming. Itchy eyes, itchy eyes. Oh my goodness. OMG, right? Dry mouth, loss of hair, dry skin, dizziness, headaches, anxiety, right? Lightheadedness, numbness and tingling, fatigue, pain, fever, chest pain, swollen glands, weight loss or weight gain. So here's the thing with that, you guys. Go ahead and put high five in there in the chat right now if you have weight gain or weight loss and extreme measures. What does that mean? Extreme measures means like you lost 30 pounds in 2 weeks. Not normal. You gained 30 pounds in 2 weeks. Not normal. Something is off with your thyroid. Something is wrong. And it's important to get tested, okay? So not normal. Those are symptoms, right? Rapid or irregular heartbeat, shortness of breath, temperature sensitivity. All of these early detection symptoms would be great to know, right? Because if you have them in your back pocket, then you can have early detection and diagnosis. But the problem is that They are so similar to so many other things going on in the world and diseases and illnesses and sicknesses that autoimmunity is the last thing to be diagnosed. It's kind of like the check boxes, right? And you check this, and then it's like, if none of those add up, then it's an autoimmune disease based on the blood work, right? But here's the deal with that. 80% of all autoimmunity diagnosed is women. And 1 in 5 women will be diagnosed with autoimmunity this year. Why do the numbers keep rising? Because we don't have a system for early detection and diagnosis. So it's super important that you are aware of what these symptoms are and how to incorporate them in your daily life. So you know if something's not right and you're off, to go to your doctor or go to a specialist and literally demand blood work. And certain blood works can be done. Different doctors do different things, but there's different ways to detect your autoimmune disease. So here's the recap of day 1. Oh my gosh, day 1, you guys, it's already almost coming to an end. I shared who I am and my autoimmune journey and an overview of autoimmune disease. I'm Robin Engelson, and I have Hashimoto's thyroid autoimmune disease, and I have a simple solution of how I became an overcomer and thrive. But the reality is that I was sick and tired of being sick and tired, and no doctor listened to me. And my hair was falling out, my nails were brittle, I was constipated, I had irregular periods. My joints ached, my bones hurt, I was exhausted, I was in a brain fog, and nobody could help me. And it was miserable. And I had a toddler to take care of. It was absolutely horrific. And what is an autoimmune disease, right? It's when our body is not functioning properly and we're being attacked instead of protecting it. So your homework for today, super important that you get the workbook. If you have not gotten the workbook, again, email info@robinengelson.com. So the homework today, we're going to identify symptoms you're having. And it's a fillable PDF. Super simple. So you're going to identify the autoimmune symptoms that you are having. Are you exhausted? Are you in a brain fog? Are you overwhelmed? Do you have anxiety? Do you have migraines? Is your skin itchy? Is your hair falling out? Are you fatigued? Whatever it is. And there's no right or wrong answer because this is about you and your symptoms, whether you have a diagnosis or not. Okay? Super important to actually write these down and visualize them, right? And then we're going to practice deep breathing Zen because there's power in the pause. We are all high functioning women with high profile jobs, right? And sometimes we forget to breathe. But when we do breathe, we find the power. We find ourselves again and we find the power. So I'm going to give you a lesson right now and examples on how to do this. We're going to breathe in for 3, exhale for 3, breathe in for 2, exhale for 2, breathe in for 1, exhale for 1. And it's really important that you roll your shoulders back, chest proud, arms down, and you're breathing from your gut, your stomach area, not your chest. Okay, when we're overwhelmed and stressed, we go from our chest, but it's super important that we go from the belly, the Buddha, right? The belly. So here we go. Going to breathe in for 3. Exhale for 3. Inhale for 2. Hold it. Exhale for 2. Inhale for 1. And exhale for 1. So that's what you're going to practice. And those instructions are also in your workbook. It's really important to do this because I'm so excited for you to do this and find some power in your pause. And I always end my presentations with some quotes that I find very meaningful that you can take with you for the rest of the day. If it's meant to be, it's up to me by William Johnson. You have the power to change the trajectory of your life. Nobody else. It's in your hands. The word impossible says I'm possible by Audrey Hepburn. You hold the pen to your story. If you believe you can, you're right. If you believe you can't, You're right. Thank you so much for coming today for the first of 3 days of the Autoimmune Solution Masterclass, where you find 3 ways to help yourself now. I'm super excited that you're here with me, whether you're watching this live or on the replay. And I'm so excited. I cannot wait to see you tomorrow and get all of your homework in tonight. Because again, remember you guys, there's prizes every day for homework. There's prizes for us people who stay on for all 3 days. And you're also going to get a recipe every single day that you hop on. And you don't want to miss out on this special treat that I'm going to share with you on how to work with me. It is unbelievable, this special offer. Like, it is sweet and delicious. So I am so excited for you. Have a fabulous Monday. Go out there and slay. Have a great one, you all.